Hey guys, Hook to Clash here, and today we're going to be doing a Town Hall 14 update tier list. I think these are a really good way for evaluating all the changes in the game and seeing which ones come out on top and which ones are a bit more average or below average. Now, obviously we couldn't put every change in the update in this tier list here, but I've picked the 15 or 16 biggest ones. And let's get straight into it. And what better way to start with than pets? Probably the biggest piece of content in this update, not just in terms of upgrade time, which is a little long in my opinion, but we can't complain about getting lots of content, honestly. That's why we play the game, for new things. The upgrade time's a little annoying, but what I love about this pets is A, obviously it's new, B, it's a concept that I don't think anyone ever thought of doing. And C, they can be used so tactically. Assigning a specific pet to your hero is not something we've really ever seen in the game before. The only thing we've really seen equivalent is Warden on air and Warden on ground. So I'm going to put these pets straight in S tier. I know a lot of people are frustrated with them for the attack timers, but for the skill that they're going to bring to the game in how you use them, how you allocate them to each hero, I think they're going to be really nice to see. And it'll be interesting to see if people use the pets more for like the Sui parts of attacks, like whether Sui heroes will get stronger in the meta, or if we'll see them more with kill squads. Now, the next one here we've got is the Town Hall Poison effect. Now, obviously at Town Hall 13, we got the freeze effect, and that slowed troops down a bit, but that didn't really stop spam, and that's why I kind of like this poison change. It won't stop spam, but the biggest thing about it is it seems to do a number on the healers. It's really good at taking them down. So people are going to be less inclined, I think, to spam straight into the Town Hall. Now, obviously, it's still doable. You can bring a heal spell if you so desire. But I still think it is a slight nerf to spam, and that's always a good thing in my opinion. Now, could have they done something a bit more creative than just picking another spell they got? Maybe. But I do like this change a lot. In saying that, there are so many good things in this update that I'm going to put the poison effect in B tier there. Still a really good change. I really like it. Something different, even if it's along a similar vein. But there were so many good things in this update that I had to leave it at B. Now, this one, I think we will all get quite the divide on. And it's the cosmetics of Town Hall 13. We've got the green and gold effect. Now, personally, when I looked at it first, I kind of didn't really like it at all, kind of vomited a bit in my mouth. But the other day when I was watching an Itsu video, one of the attacks he did, the entire base was green and gold, and it actually looked really cool. It's the sort of thing where you need everything in the base to match the theme, and once it matched the theme, it actually looked really good. I really liked it. It's the sort of thing that I think will grow on me. And yet again, I'm going to leave this in... Look... No, we're going to leave it in the B tier here today. I thought about putting in the C, and like I said, I do really like the cosmetic effect. I do prefer the darker ones, though. I still think I prefer Town Hall 13. The darker black and dark blue is sick to look at, but the cosmetics have grown on me, and it could be worse. The next one we're going to look at is troop levels. Now, at Town Hall 14, we got a bunch of new troop levels, but what I really liked about it was targeted troop levels. We didn't see an upgrade to Yetis. We didn't see an upgrade to P.E.K.K.A.s. I don't think we saw an upgrade to Witches either, which is more relevant for the Super Witches. We will see an upgrade to Baby Drags, unfortunately, which makes Inferno Drags stronger, but essentially, not a lot of the spam troops got an upgrade. And on top of that, I don't think Miners got an upgrade, Hogs didn't get an upgrade, and Loons didn't get an upgrade. So a lot of the more common armies or troops you see for the armies in the game didn't get an upgrade, and I think this is kind of nice. It means the Town Hall will start off a bit more defense based. I'm sure we'll see upgrades for them in the future, but it's just nice to see a lot of the spam troops to not get an upgrade. We are going to leave it in C tier, but that's just because troop levels in general are not as interesting. Now, Builder Huts. I love this. I cannot keep it at, like, we're just going to put it there immediately. I love this. I know people will be like, oh, look at that. They used another non-defense thing and made it a defense, like the Town Hall. Like, what's going to be next? The weaponized army camp. Who knows? Maybe it will be. But the Builder Huts as a defensive building is insane to me. A, the healing is cool, and B, the damage. I just love 2x2 buildings. Like the Infernos, they're so fun to build for because it doesn't take up lots of space and you can be really creative with them. And the fact that these Builder Huts can heal at a pretty reasonable rate It's so much like strategy. Will you put all 5 builder huts around like the town hall? Will you put a lot of them around like a scatter shot to stop them being zapped? I don't know, but there's so much different strategy with base building, and I'll be so excited to see how people use them. The CC upgrade, normally a pretty small thing, but we get rather than getting 50 space with this, we're getting the 3rd spell, and I actually really like that. Adding an extra spell. We haven't got a new one since Town Hall 11, and it feels like we've needed one, especially with this poison effect of the Town Hall. It gives people a chance to maybe bring a heal to keep their loons, hogs, healers, whatever goes through them that's low HP alive. So I really like that. Rather than giving us 50 space, giving us that, and I'm going to leave it in A tier. I really like the fact that we get an extra spell for this Town Hall, because given how many extra defenses are on the base with those builder huts, I think we need it, even though we do have the pets. The donation cap. What a good change. What a good change. I'm going to be saying this the whole time. This was a fantastic change. For those who don't know the donation cap, it's essentially, it makes sure that like Town Hall 5s cannot have troops of a Town Hall 14. Because obviously that breaks the game. It's not really interesting for anyone at low levels if you're just getting tripled by max balloons, or even worse, on defense if you run into like a baby drag and you don't have any max troops on you. Like the Town Hall 14 troops should not be dictating from Town Halls 3 to like 10. You should be tripling on your own accord with your own troops. It doesn't make you a better player if you use Town Hall 14 troops at Town Hall 5 and wreck that poor guy's base. So we're going to put this in A tier. I think this is a great change. It's not something I ever would have thought about doing. But for those who have watched like my Back to the Beginning episodes, we kind of abused that donation. And now there's the donation cap, and I really like this change. Starter Pass, another great change. I keep saying this, but seriously, for those who don't know, obviously you get the Silver Pass, I believe at Town Hall 7 or 8, it's one of them. The Silver Pass then, but up until then, you've got nothing. You've just got to play the game on your own accord, and you don't get any, like, aside from clan games, obviously, and clan war leagues, you don't get any reward for the attacks you do or for the achievements you complete across the season. And the Starter Pass gives you that. I don't think the rewards in that will be particularly strong, but it's a good change that's helping people that are new to the game. And given how daunting Town Hall 14 is for someone new to the game to farm like 25 years to get there, I love the change. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I do really like this change, and anything to help new players grow into the game is a big plus from me. The recruitment tool. I read this about the changes. I couldn't really explain to you all the changes at any length, but they don't seem like they're particularly big changes to me, honestly. Let me know in the comments, because I don't deal with the recruitment tool a lot, and maybe you guys do, but it still just sounds like to me that new clans are struggling to recruit, and the changes to the recruitment tool did not seem like they were big. Let me know, though, if you think otherwise, but otherwise, I'm just going to leave that in D tier. The Archer Queen and Grand Warden AI. Now, these both got fixes. The Grand Warden AI is now less likely to shoot walls towards the end of a battle. A lot of the time at the end, if you have like your final troops are beating on a wall to get to the final building, even if they die, the Warden will shoot the wall, and it is infuriating. You have no idea why it's doing that, and it's just gonna, I don't know if there's definitely not gonna happen, but it's much less likely to happen. And any improvement like that is a good thing in my opinion, especially because the Grand Warden AI is so complicated. We do always need these adjustments, and I can see that this is a good one. And the Archer Queen AI, this is a great one. It essentially just makes her more likely to walk into open walls, and it's just improved her vision, I think, in that aspect. And I think this is a good thing for base building. Well, it's a bad thing for base builders, but I don't like the fact that open walls were your best defense on the base. I think we still might see a few of them now, but it doesn't make them as ridiculously broken, and it's a nice buff to queen charges, honestly, and anything that's a buff to skilled attacks is a big plus from me. Let's put that straight in the A tier. I'm also worried we're going to fill up the A tier, because base editing, look, I know this isn't going to apply to everyone, so I'll probably leave this in C tier, but one of my favorite things of this update is that on any base, not just your home base, which it was in the past. On any base, you can swap 2 buildings without triggering the cooldown. That's awesome to me. I hated the fact that you had to copy your base to one of your village bases, then make it your home base to switch things around. Now you can do it with any base layout. Because it affects so little people, I'm going to leave it in C tier. But for me personally, I love the change. Anything that can help base building is a big plus of me. You guys are all seeing my priorities as we go through this. Cost reductions. This was a really good one here. I'll actually get the graphic up for you all in case you haven't seen it, but this is crazy. Some of these adjustments are huge. You can see my mouse in there, but like, look at these Dark Elixir costs for like Town Hall 7 and 8, 9, 10 is all above 30%. That is a huge cost. Huge saving on cost, but the most important thing is time. And look at these time savers here. 26% and 20% is a lot. That's months that's just been saved with these changes here. So yet again, anything to help people get up in the game is a big plus in my eyes. We're going to leave this at B tier, honestly. I'm really worried about B tier though. We might fill it up. We'll see in a second. Troop balances. This is the other one I believe we're going to get up right in front of us here. And my favorite part of this was the super minion DPS has been decreased. Yes, it's only been decreased by 50, as you can see with my impossibly small line there. But super minions were honestly horrible to run into. And I can imagine a lot of people that aren't as like into like the skilled area of Clash of Clans and just the casual players would have had a ridiculously frustrating time dealing with them. Now, they have had their HP buffed as some sort of counterbalance, but honestly, anything to decrease their DPS, because it was just insane losing your queen to triple super minion Caesars when you did nothing wrong. The super giant HP also being decreased and the Inferno Drag being slightly nerfed were big things for me there. So I like those troop balances. We're going to leave them in the C tier, because yet again, troop balances, troop levels aren't as exciting. But honestly, I think they were really good changes. Bug fixes here. There was some pretty good bug fixes. The AQ and Grey and Warden AI were 2 of the bug fixes, but I kind of kept them separate. But the main bug fix I love, I've got it highlighted here. I will zoom in a little for you guys. As you can see there, when troops are deployed inside invisibility spell, the effect is applied immediately. Otherwise, defenses would sometimes target the deployed troops before they came in invisible. This was an infuriating glitch. I've seen Klaus post on Twitter about his super wizards being targeted inside the invisibility spell. I think this fixes it. I don't know for sure, but I think this fixes it. So that in itself, which was such an infuriating bug, hopefully is fixed. We'll see post-update. Maybe I'm completely wrong. We'll leave it in C tier because none of the bug fixes were too major, but I just really wanted to point that one out. And the last one, potentially my favorite of all. No, not quite. I still think Builder Huts are my favorite at all. I haven't actually decided between S and A for this, the 6-beam Inferno. Now, the Inferno is not only getting a new upgrade at Town Hall 14, it gets the 6 beams on the multi. Anything that gives the multi a buff is a really nice change, because the singles being the meta is just, I don't know, it just leads to the Inferno Drag spam, the Witch spam. Like most of the spam seems to work on that, whereas Infernos require much more precise attacks. Yes, some of the time the Super Witches and the P.E.K.K.A.s do work on it, but this 6 Inferno beam just makes it a little bit harder for it to do, and I think you'll see more multis at Town Hall 14 because of it. And I think I'm gonna, unfortunately, it's not quite doesn't quite fit, but we're gonna leave that in the A tier. 6 beam Inferno, just because yes, it is a great change, but I don't think you could look at it and put it on the same level as Pets and Builder Huts. And that there is my tier list for Town Hall 14. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with some of them, if you disagree, or if there was some parts of the update that I missed that you think should have been on here and where they should have placed. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this content, please drop me a sub. We're getting close to 1,000, and honestly, if we get to 1,000, I would be the happiest man alive. And hopefully, you all enjoy Town Hall 14. It will be out sooner than you think. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. Hopefully, I see some of you soon.